Embarking on a solo journey after years of shared adventures can be a deeply emotional turning point. For many widowed seniors, this shift from companionship to solitude and travel brings not only a sense of independence but also a new form of vulnerability, one that's rooted in financial decisions. When traveling alone, the financial safety nets and shared habits once relied upon can suddenly disappear, exposing travelers to potential pitfalls they might not have considered before. It's not just about more careful budgeting. It's about addressing systemic financial oversights that can have far-reaching consequences. In this video, we will go into 5 crucial financial mistakes that widowed seniors need to steer clear of when planning solo travels. These range from outdated documentation and unnoticed insurance gaps to the often overlooked complexities of digital banking. Understanding these can mean the difference between a smoothly navigated itinerary and a journey fraught with financial hiccups. Let's dive straight into our first major pitfall: relying on outdated or insufficient spousal financial documentation, a mistake I call the legal access trap. Now, many widowed seniors find themselves falling into this trap when they assume that the financial and legal documentation they had in place with their spouse is adequate for their current needs. This can be a risky assumption, especially if your spouse was the primary manager of your family's financial affairs. Imagine Ruth, a spirited 72-year-old adventurer who decided to embark on a solo trip to explore the historical wonders of Rome. Just a day into her journey, Ruth realized she needed some extra funds to cover an unexpected expense. To her dismay, when she attempted to access her joint account, she was met with a security alert, followed by a frustrating account freeze. As it turned out, the power of attorney, POA, her late husband had set up years ago, was no longer recognized by her bank because it had not been updated after his passing. This situation was complicated further when Ruth found herself in a medical emergency, needing medication she hadn't anticipated. The outdated healthcare POA meant she faced delays in receiving essential care and had to jump through hoops to get prompt assistance. Ruth's story isn't unique. Many travelers, particularly older ones, find themselves in similar predicaments, believing their existing documentation will suffice without verification. Financial institutions, especially those dealing with cross-border transactions, have become increasingly stringent. They require updated documentation to prevent fraud and unauthorized account use, especially if you're using the accounts in unusual locations or dealing with large, unexpected withdrawals. To avoid falling victim to similar legal and financial hurdles, it's imperative that you ensure all your financial and healthcare POA documents are not only current, but also comprehensive. Revise and update any legal documentation that your spouse might have set up. This isn't just about paperwork, it's about having the peace of mind that you're protected while you're out exploring the world. Moreover, consider notifying your bank about your travel plans in advance. This way, they can note your destinations and anticipate any unfamiliar activity on your account, reducing the likelihood of security holds. It's also wise to provide updated emergency contacts to both your financial institutions and medical facilities at home. Taking these simple yet crucial steps will help safeguard your finances and health, allowing you to focus on what truly matters, enjoying your adventures with confidence and security. Another critical mistake you want to avoid is relying solely on a single bank account and credit card system. You see, this setup may have worked seamlessly when 2 people could draw from shared resources, but as a solo traveler, it poses a significant risk. Imagine this scenario. Margaret, a widowed retiree with a passion for exploring new places, decided to take a long-awaited trip to Paris. For years, she and her husband managed their finances with a single bank account and a shared credit card. 2 weeks into her trip, just as she was optimizing her itinerary to include a last-minute excursion to the breathtaking Mont Saint-Michel, she encountered a rude awakening. While paying for breakfast at a quaint Parisian cafe, her card was unexpectedly declined. Flustered and unsure of her next step, she called her bank only to discover an issue with her card that she couldn't resolve quickly from overseas. Margaret suddenly found herself in the midst of a cash flow crunch. Unable to access her funds, she was left in a precarious situation far from home. The stress of trying to manage the situation overshadowed what was meant to be a serene and life-enriching journey. To prevent an experience like Margaret's, it's crucial to prepare in advance by establishing a secondary financial system. This doesn't require an overhaul of your financial life, but acts as a safety net. Start by setting up an account with a different bank, complete with its own debit and credit cards. This separate account provides an additional layer of security and ensures that even if one card becomes non-functional or is lost, you have immediate access to funds through the other account. Not only does this dual system approach offer increased reliability, but it also adds peace of mind. You can travel with the assurance that a forgotten PIN, an overcautious fraud prevention freeze, or a misplaced wallet won't derail your trip. Simply put, a secondary financial system keeps your travel plans intact and your stress levels in check. As a precaution, inform both banks about your travel plans. This communication can sometimes prevent your cards from being mistakenly flagged for unusual activity. You might also find value in designing a personalized travel cash flow plan. Decide in advance how much you'll keep on each card and in cash, considering travel expenses like accommodation, daily incidentals, and contingency funds for emergencies. Moreover, have digital access to your accounts. Most banks offer online platforms or apps where you can monitor every transaction, transfer funds seamlessly, and set up alerts for any unusual activity. It's also wise to keep the contact details for all your financial institutions readily available, perhaps saved in your phone or printed and tucked away in your luggage. Let's now talk about an all-too common oversight that many older travelers find themselves caught in: the standard travel insurance flaw, or what we might call the dependent gap. We often feel a sense of relief once we've purchased that standard travel insurance policy, assuming we're adequately covered for any unforeseen circumstances. However, the reality might be a little more complex, especially for those of us with unique family situations. Imagine this scenario. Mary, a widow in her late 60s, decides to book her dream solo trip to Europe. Her grown children are excited for her, knowing it's been a long-time wish for her to see Paris in the spring. Wanting to be cautious, she makes sure to purchase travel insurance that covers trip cancellations for covered reasons, thinking she's played it safe. As her departure date approaches, Mary receives unexpected news. Her son's wife, a beloved daughter-in-law, is facing a health crisis. Feeling the need to be with her family, she decides she must cancel her trip. With a heavy heart, she approaches her insurance company, confident that it would understand her situation. But much to her dismay, the insurance policy's list of covered relatives doesn't extend to in-laws. The result? An $8,000 loss and additional emotional distress on top of an already difficult situation. The harsh reality is that many standard travel insurance policies contain specific and often restrictive definitions of who qualifies as a covered relative. This gap leaves out significant family members, such as in-laws and other non-blood relations, with whom we may have strong bonds and responsibilities, much like Mary's situation. Without proper coverage, these personal emergencies can lead to significant financial losses. So what's the solution? Unlike standard policies, CFAR offers a safety net that allows you to cancel your trip for, quite literally, any reason, including those not typically covered by traditional policies. It offers the flexibility and security many older travelers need, especially those who serve as keystones in complex family structures. Before embarking on your own journey, take a moment to examine policy definitions carefully. Understand who qualifies as a covered relative and whether your specific family scenario might require more comprehensive protection. It might require a bit more upfront cost, but the peace of mind it brings can be priceless. As we navigate these golden years, ensuring we have the right insurance coverage isn't just about diligent planning. It's about cherishing and protecting the connections we hold dear. By closing the gap, much like with CFAR insurance, we can focus on the adventure ahead, knowing our loved ones are safeguarded. Let's dive into mistake 4, failure to clear the digital footprint, or the automatic payment drain. Many of us, especially after losing a spouse, find ourselves tangled in the web of digital subscriptions and automatic payments. It's a common oversight to assume that all these payments cease on their own. Unfortunately, this isn't the case. Take the example of Helen, a wonderful woman who decided to embark on a solo journey to Paris, a city she'd always dreamed of visiting. As she meticulously planned her itinerary, booked charming bed and breakfasts, and packed her suitcase with excitement, there was one crucial detail she overlooked: clearing out her digital financial past. Helen was confident that any subscription or payment linked to her late husband's card would naturally discontinue. After all, he was the one who set up those old sports magazines, streaming services, and various other memberships. But the truth dawned on her quite dramatically during her layover in New York. Her credit card was unexpectedly declined while she was trying to purchase a cozy, last-minute sweater to brave the Parisian autumn chill. Puzzled and a bit embarrassed, Helen called her bank. She discovered, much to her dismay, that numerous forgotten subscriptions were still active. A legacy gym membership, an online protein shake delivery service, and even a nostalgia-driven subscription to a historic newspaper archive were relentlessly siphoning funds from her account. Not only was this affecting her immediate cash flow, but it also raised suspicions that triggered a fraud alert while she was abroad. This situation could have spoiled Helen's entire trip. To avoid such predicaments, it's recommended to conduct what we like to call a financial forensics audit. This involves meticulously going through your bank and credit card statements for at least the past 6 months. Look for any recurring charges you might not recognize or remember agreeing to, whether set up by you or your late spouse. Cancel these services if they no longer serve your needs. Additionally, consider setting up a digital wallet specifically for your travels. This dedicated account will function primarily for your trip expenses and prevent your essential funds from being drained by unnecessary charges. With a new digital wallet, you minimize the risk of unauthorized transactions and keep your travel budget intact. Remember, taking these steps before your journey can save you from the unexpected stress of financial surprises. Travel is about freedom and discovery, not the shadow of lingering debts or complications from the past. So, clear that digital footprint and step boldly into your next adventure with confidence and peace of mind. Over-relying on foreign ATM networks can steer your solo trip into treacherous financial waters. In traveling as a couple, it might have been easier. You could split the cash requirements, one of you handling the withdrawal, while the other provides an extra set of eyes for safety. But solo travel removes that extra layer of security, placing you in vulnerable situations where quick and easy access to cash might come at a price you hadn't considered. Take the case of Linda, a seasoned traveler who spent much of her married life jet-setting with her late husband across the globe. They had a well-oiled system. Jim would stand guard while Linda withdrew money from whatever ATM was closest, often an independent machine located in convenient but not always secure spots. After Jim passed, Linda continued the same habit during her first solo trip to Lisbon. One leisurely afternoon, she approached a small ATM tucked away near a busy market. In her distraction, she didn't notice a couple of sketchy individuals lurking nearby, seemingly focused on their phones. Little did she know they were perfecting the art of shoulder surfing, watching her every move and discreetly noting her PIN number. In less than an hour, Linda received alarming notifications of large, unauthorized transactions from her account. The culprits had cloned her card using ATM skimming techniques, devices secretly placed to capture card information. The aftermath was a stressful, painstaking process of canceling cards and disputing fraudulent transactions. Linda's story isn't unique. In unfamiliar environments, foreign ATMs often present hidden risks beyond higher transaction fees. They're prime targets for scammers and can put solo travelers at an increased disadvantage without the backup and vigilance of a companion. The false sense of security these machines offer only makes them more dangerous. So, how can you safeguard yourself against these hidden hazards? The answer lies in being prepared before you even leave home. Opting for financial services that cater to frequent travelers can dramatically reduce both the physical and financial risks. Consider using a low-fee debit card that offers favorable exchange rates and works effectively in various locations worldwide. These cards are often designed with traveler concerns in mind, equipped with enhanced security features that add an extra layer of protection. But the card itself isn't your only safeguard. Planning your cash withdrawals strategically can make all the difference. Seek out bank-affiliated ATMs instead, even if it means a short detour. These machines are more secure, often located inside bank vestibules, with heightened security measures like surveillance cameras. Remember, discretion is key. Keep your primary bank card hidden away in a secure place, preventing it from ever being exposed at random ATMs. preventative measures relieve your journey of unnecessary stress, allowing solo adventures to remain safe and enjoyable. Linda learned this the hard way, but her experience underscores the importance of adapting travel habits post-loss. In doing so, you not only protect your finances, but more importantly, your peace of mind, turning your solo journey into a seamless continuation of exploration and discovery, just as it should be. Solo travel is a journey of healing and empowerment. The financial mistakes we covered here are not just about money. They are about ensuring your protection and peace of mind. By taking the time to secure your financial foundation, you can focus entirely on enjoying the wonders the world has to offer. So, which of these 5 areas are you updating today? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If this video made you feel more secure and confident in your solo travel plans, help another solo traveler by sharing it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more valuable tips. Safe travels and exciting adventures await you.